20 chairs here.
How you guys doing today? We're so spread out.
Yeah, I know. This is huge.
I feel like we're missing a couple people up on stage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marty's here somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah,
From what I've heard, yeah.
All his friends are dead.
Yeah, looking like a disheveled shell of his former self. So, wow, my first panel. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I'm glad I made the trip. Now, I know the Young Bucks don't really know a lot of the characters and all that, but just to see everyone, embracing the spirit of this Comic-Con and coming up with so many cool and interesting cosplays and just showing support for their various, TV shows, movie, comic books and all that. I mean, this really feels like where I belong this weekend, so thank you guys so much for having me.
Have you been to Chicago since All In?
I have not been to Chicago since All In, so this is my first time since All In.
Oh. Hey, Kenny, we should come back, huh?
What? Wait a minute.
I thought we were going to close with this.
Wait a minute, Nick. You mean maybe we should talk about this after the panel?
Okay.
Or we could talk about it right now, but I want to tell... See, there's like a psychology to interviews, not just pro wrestling matches. We're supposed to save this as like the dramatic finale.
No, Matt and I like to do everything right away.
And over and over again.
Over and over again, yeah.
Well, come on, says the guy who hits 50 knees a match.
Hey, whoa! I've heard from my detractors it's like a million, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's maybe come back to Chicago for what, a Comic-Con?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Nick?
Yeah.
I'd love to come back.
Yeah, let's actually do what they're saying. Let's do that instead.
Okay, you know what? All In, a show very near and dear to my heart. Of course, I had absolutely nothing to do with that show.
Oh, come on, get out of here.
But I would like something to do with All In Part 2, or whatever it is that we call it. So, heck, I don't know. What do you say, guys? I don't know. Let's maybe do it again, huh? You guys want another show in Chicago?
I mean, there's a particular building here that has our damn faces on the plaque on the entrance. Maybe we should go there.
Yeah, we should probably, I don't know, have some sort of loyalty towards them. I mean, we have loyalty to no one else, apparently.
Yeah. So are we just gonna do improv for an hour here? Or what do
we can do improv. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of questions on your guys' minds that you guys want to talk about. You don't have to ask us questions. We can just chat. Yeah. I've never done this, guys. Come on, help me out here. I leave it to you people. Help me out, and let's have a fun time.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's ask the panel. This is a panel, right? That's what you call this? This is a panel. So let's poll the panel. Anyone with something on their minds that they have to know? I see someone holding up a 2 suite up there.
We can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I did. Oh, my book.
Your children's book?
My children's book. How do you guys know about that?
I don't think we've announced that yet.
Did anyone say something? I thought that was a secret. Okay, well, yeah, I've worked on a preliminary idea to my book. I don't know when the release date is, because there's a process to making it. There's an artist I have to work with, but I've got some cool ideas, and I think it's going to be great for children, and who knows, might even be fun for adults too. So All In 2. I mean, we don't know what the date is, right, guys? So who knows if that's when the release date's going to be?
Yeah.
But I am, in terms of the order of things, because I'm not sure if I'll even be the last one. There may even be more.
I can't say this. Cody has his children's book coming out. I think it is coming out, I want to say, Double or Nothing weekend.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So you'll be able to grab that. And then obviously Kenny.
Yeah, if we could time things in that manner, I would love to have a book ready for one of our big shows. Yeah. So if we come back to this All In 2 idea, or title subject to change show, I would love to release it there. That'd be cool. So for now, I've got to really, button it down. I've got to not play 8 hours of Apex a day and try to get this book done. So I'm working hard, though. I'll make it good for everyone's kids and their kids' kids and generations to come. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Sorry, this is more for the box. And I just want to say, like, I really love all of the inclusivity and diversity initiatives you guys are doing. And I just wanted to ask, was that, like, something that you kind of came into this thinking, or was there somebody who kind of spearheaded that a little bit more than everybody else, or was that just kind of a group effort? I just was curious about that.
Good. You want to answer?
I think I would say it was a group effort. You actually were one of the main reasons.
The day we announced what we were doing in Jacksonville, I said something about a mission statement about, this is called All Elite Wrestling. And I think that, the reason we call it All Elite Wrestling is because we want to use all wrestlers. We want all fans. We want to include everybody. There should be nobody excluded from being in our locker room or being in our audience that gets to enjoy our product. All Elite Wrestling, it's for all, right? And a big thing about the Elite, when we started this thing, it was the three of us, right? And we were always talking about changing the world, changing professional wrestling. We wanted to just make it different. So, I mean, if it was spearheaded by anybody, I guess, I know the three of us are on stage right here, and it was always a big thing for us. But when we took that idea and we gave it to Tony Khan, he agreed with us, and he was absolutely on board. And so was Cody and Brandy and Christopher Daniels and the rest of the team. So, yeah, I mean, we can't just take credit for the three. I think it was a collaborative thing. It was very important for us to show the world, like, listen, like, everyone should be able to enjoy professional wrestling. I don't know if you want to add to that.
Right there, buddy.
All right, so not sleep Kenny out again.
Yep.
Yep.
Maybe we'll go with a different question then. Yeah, go ahead.
Starting all in, getting everything going, was there anything that popped up and you just kind of went, oh, I didn't think of that, I didn't expect that? Was there anything you can think of off the top of your head?
People going over their time. That was one thing. I would say the price tag on things like, I don't know, insurance and things of that nature, where we were like, oh my God, this is going to be expensive.
Realizing that talent actually has to, like, sleep in a hotel room the night before, and they have to fly, like, what? You have to pay for this stuff? I thought they just kind of showed up the day of the show, like all the little details that you don't really realize, all the little boring things. We learned a lot, though, about promoting, too, and putting together a card. And at one point, we had booked so many people, and we were like, oh, wait a minute, we actually have to put them on the card. Like, how are we going to do this? You know what I mean? Like, it's very confusing. It's easy to kind of like sit down on your couch and kind of be like, well, if I ran a wrestling show, I would do it like this, as opposed to when you actually do it, it's like, this is a lot of pressure. Like, and for us, it's very important to have like a variety show. We want to, basically have a little bit of everything. And that was very important to us for that show, is we wanted to have the drama, we wanted to have the comedy, we wanted to bring you everything. And I felt like, I'm so proud that show, it feels like it's universally loved and praised, and it's one of my proudest achievements.
Okay, they're lining up now. You guys could line up in the center. There's a microphone in the aisle.
Oh, cool. Yeah, look
It'll
at
make
that.
it easier for you guys to ask.
Yeah, you don't have to yell or raise your voice too much.
My question is for the Young Bucks. You said at the announcement that there's going to be an emphasis on tag team wrestling. Are you saying that the tag team wrestling scene needs a revival?
Well, you know what? We feel like it's been so long since tag team wrestling has been like pushed on a major wrestling company, and it's been probably since the early 2000s when the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian were on fire. So we want to bring that back, and we feel like it's time for it. And you know, we see it as a variety show, and we feel like tag team wrestling can be the main event, and it should be the main event. And why not? Why not start it now?
And a lot of times, the tag team matches are the best matches on the show because it supplies so much action. And just it's a different take on pro wrestling. And I feel like nowadays it's almost become like a lost art. And we want to push it back up to the forefront and show people, no, this could be the main event. We are main event guys. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a singles wrestler to be the best guy in the company. Look at us.
Are you sure? No, I wholeheartedly agree, and actually, you know, I feel the exact same way. And myself and Ibushi, we. I didn't want to say his name. We had very much the same goal as the Golden Lovers in Japan. So, you know, with All Elite Wrestling, it's like we're not contained in one little bubble or one little box. It's like we can really make this thing completely global and completely international. And, you know, this is sort of expanding on what they were talking about before. A lot of people are forced to think, you know, if you belong to a certain group, it's like, okay, who is the best in the world? Who is the best singles guy? Who's the best tag guy? Who's the best hardcore guy? And you have no choice but to sort of select within your own roster. Yeah. And with All Elite Wrestling, we're like, wait a minute. All the best guys aren't necessarily in one promotion. Sure, some of them might be. A big group of them might be. A big handful might be. But not everyone. And that's why we really wanted to extend the olive branch to everyone so we could actually actively collect the best wrestlers representing all the best styles in the world. And, you know, it's a work in progress. We don't have everyone, of course. No one does. But we're going to do our best to try to get everyone. And I'm right there with the Bucks singing that tag team wrestling. I don't think people have seen the full potential of what tag team wrestling can bring. I tried my darndest in Japan to show that. The Bucks have tried their darndest up until now. And now that we're going to have a little bit more exposure and you know, we've got you guys supporting us and backing us, we really think we will have the perfect stage to show what it's all about. And I wish I could be a part of that. I'll be a singles guy for at least a little bit. Yep. But, you know, I hand it over to the Bucks, and I trust them and our very deep and diverse roster to supply that. So, yeah.
Before I ask my question, I just want to say, if it wasn't for your three guys, I wouldn't be watching wrestling still.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So my question is, I think what's great about AEW and what you guys have done is you guys created an alternative for the fans and the wrestlers. And if you could choose one male and one female from WWE that you would like to be in All Elite Wrestling, who would it be? I think Finn Balor would be a great option for AEW.
Man, I don't want to contract tamper.
Is that question for each and every one of us? So
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
You guys go first.
I mean, female-wise, obviously, I want Candice LeRae.
That's a great choice. Great choice.
You probably agree with me.
Yeah, Candace for sure would be the girl. Man, I'll go with Kevin Owens.
Wait, who's the guy? You selected a male?
No, I didn't select my male
No?
yet.
Select the male, man.
You just trying to stall right now, or what?
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of guys that are so good there.
There are.
This is a safe answer because he just re-signed AJ Styles.
Oh,
Safe answer.
Yeah, that's the reaction I thought. He resigned. Exactly. We can't cheer that. Give me a break. What, are you scared, AJ? Huh?
Well, you think you're better than us, AJ?
Yeah. No, we. That's the thing with you know, we still have friends everywhere in that promotion. Otherwise, it's just like guys are making decisions. You know, that's best for them and their family and their futures and all that. And of course, there are a ton of fantasy matches that sometimes you just won't be able to see just because, you know, worlds can't or won't collide. I still do believe in a future where they will. I'm crazy that way. But for a female superstar, this is going to be, I'm a little biased on this one, I think, because this is something that came off like the top of my head, because I think she's very talented and also a very kind soul, and that's Kairi Sane. She's very passionate about wrestling, very dedicated. One of the greatest elbow drops ever, aside from Randy Savage and Matt Jackson.
Oh, geez, thank you.
And she's one of the very few superstars from that roster that always, wishes me a happy birthday and happy holidays and all that. Very, very kind individual, and I wish her the best, and I wish she could be with us. So that's my female superstar. For the male, ooh. I don't want any repeats. Everyone knows that I wanted AJ. I want him bad. But man, I wanted to work more in depth with. I guess it's not one guy, but I really want to work more with New Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like our chemistry is just so on point, and really our goals for, kind of marrying wrestling with all sorts of various, types of entertainment, just they really align. But if we're talking about, like fantasy opponents and all that, I don't know. Like, I really want to, I don't know. I just really want to wrestle like guys like John Cena or Seth Rollins, you know what I mean? Like these guys that, they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, huh? I just really want to, and I don't mean I want to show that I'm better or anything. It's just I want to work with these alpha male type dudes, guys that really think that they're the best, guys that have shown that they maybe are in the conversation for being the best. Because I think that makes magic, and that's why myself and Chris Jericho was something kind of special. That's why myself and Okada was something special, is because we're all dudes that really think that we're the best at what we do. And if we're gonna speak realistically, we're the best in certain areas maybe, but not the best at everything. And that's why, when you meet in the ring and we sort of cover for each other's weaknesses and enhance our strengths, it becomes something magical and very interesting. So matches like that. And I listed like 6 guys, but whatever.
Thanks, guys.
First of all, just thank you for being here. It means a lot to us, wrestling fans. Of course, the elite fans here, have you here at C2E2. Also, if you see Hangman Page, tell him that you know at least one guy who has been a part of the Full Gear Challenge. It's actually helped change my life. I've been doing it for 3 weeks now, so appreciate him for that.
Awesome.
As for my question, you have a children's book. You have a children's book. Cody has a children's book, but you're at a Comic Con. So my question is, have you ever thought about I don't know, All Elite Wrestling comic?
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. We went to a sort of a special High Spots event where we did a Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a very talented illustrator there, and he drew us up as a comic book cover. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
And I saw that, and I was like, man, this could really be something that would work. And even before then, I'd sort of had this wild fantasy that if somehow the Elite were in a like 90s X-Men style cartoon, you know what I mean? That would be, like with that style of animation, that'd be just real cool. So I'm totally open to the idea of both, an animated series and a comic. Whether we have superpowers or not, I don't know. And I don't, even the demographic, like could be for children, could be for adults, could be, I like the idea.
I was going to say, a lot of people watched our new outro on Being the Elite.
Right.
They were like, man, I want an animated series now. So that's something I personally would really, God, that would be a dream of mine. Even if we did a short Being the Elite animated episode, I think that would be neat.
Yeah, we're thinking about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone here know about it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a following. A show called The Simpsons. They did a lot of
Oh, that
cool,
Disney show?
Yeah. Cartoon. That they've got every now and then they'll do like those special episodes where they're really like outside the box type stuff. And for Being the Elite, just for one episode only, or at least the first time, one episode only, for us to go like all animated, something real cool. I really would like to do something like that in the future. It would take a lot of work, and by the time the episode's finished, like,
Oh my God, yeah.
people in the episode might have changed radically or may even be gone. But
Remember we had the idea of doing an episode as a musical?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
How cool would that be,
I
right?
still think about that every day.
Well, the reason I asked about the comic book is that if you remember, you said during the BE and the Elite that a lot of fans asked you for like jobs or whatever, and they had like no background. Well, I'm actually a comic book writer myself.
Uh-oh.
And with 30
Are we gonna
issues
get a
to my
pitch right
name.
now?
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and I actually have an artist who would be willing to do this, and he actually made a cover for what it might look like yourself if you want to take a look at it.
Right on. Mrs. Matt, are you in the crowd? Can you please grab this man's business card or something?
Okay. I'll just go with that then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll be at the photo op later, so I'll see you all then.
See you, bud.
That's cool.
Hey guys, I mean, first I want to say thank you so much for bringing an event like All In into the wrestling world. There hasn't been a moment before or since, I feel like, with not just the wrestling matches itself, but with the crowd, just the atmosphere in general being so on fire as it was that night. And that was without a doubt the greatest wrestling night of my life. So
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
Thanks for being there.
My pleasure, really. My question is with AEW coming soon to fruition. Do you guys see yourselves taking it on the road, being like an actual touring company with a schedule almost like WWE? Hopefully not as rigorous as that for your guys' sake.
We're going to take Christmas off.
Good.
And New Year's, right?
Yeah. Definitely. We're going to be a touring brand. Not as crazy as the WWE because we all have families and I'm going to miss them. So we're going to definitely keep that in mind because a lot of the wrestlers in the company have families.
Yep.
So we're going to have certain dates that we have to get through, but it'll be a touring brand for sure.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you in Detroit then. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Hi there. So two things. One, honestly, if it wasn't for you guys, I would not be in a group like my friend Steve behind me here is actually right here, recording this whole thing. I wouldn't be in this awesome organization, Too Sweet Cosplay. And my question is, what would you say, and this is for all three of you, what would you say is the best rivalry you've had in your career, whether it's New Japan, Ring of Honor, or any kind of company that you guys have been in?
You want to start, Ken?
I don't want to start. I got to think, got to jog my memory banks. This is the best wrestling memory?
Yeah, it's like whether it's like a good rivalry you've had over the years or anything like that.
You want me to go? Right off the top of my head, one of my favorite feuds was with Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys. It got cut a little bit short, but man, for what it was, what was it, 3-4 months? It was like the best 3 to 4 months ever. We've had so many fun matches though, and like our body of work, man, the last decade it's been the time of my life. In New Japan, we had a lot of great ones with Roppongi Vice, Red Dragon, you name them. I mean, I'm not going to give. Which ones am I leaving out? The Super Smash Brothers at PWG, some of my favorite.
I would say memories with the three of us. Right from the thought of it, I would go with Matt and I being ringside at the Tokyo Dome watching Kenny wrestle Okada. Something special about that. And then finally to see him win the title, and then us walking down the aisle and embracing with Kenny afterward. That was special to me, and we'll always remember that moment.
Yeah.
You can't top that, huh?
No, I try to really. Last year I had a lot of. It was such an up and down battle last year, especially for me. You know, a lot of highs and a lot of lows. But yeah, like I'm right there with Nick. I think after whatever it was, 65 minutes with Okada, and just being in the ring, and you know, it was all of us, right? You know, it was the Golden Elite, and it was just the three dudes who at the time in New Japan just really meant everything to me. They're just my pillars of support, and you know, finally actually having them there and being able to support me in my journey really felt like they weren't there for me. It was like all four of us were in the ring fighting together, and it was like a group effort and a group accomplishment. And those are always like the moments that mean the most to me, is when we accomplish something as a group. I haven't really done much just for myself or my own personal gain in a long time, and when I think back and just think about how happy we were that we got over that huge mountain, it was just such a weight off my shoulder. And yeah, I guess it would be that.
I was going to add to that. I mean, not to that moment, but I have to give credit to the tag match we had with you and Coda in Long Beach.
Wow, yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorite matches. And the moment where I was on Kenny's neck and I'm just telling him, just do it, just do it. And it was so real. And for me, man, that might be, I don't know, maybe number one, maybe top 3 matches of our career. So I can't leave that match out when we're talking.
That was the top one match that I was most nervous for.
Yes, we were all
I was like, since when do I ever get nervous for matches? And that one, I was really nervous.
Because it was so much more than a match. It was
Yeah.
basically like, hey, let's go out there and make a movie for 35 minutes.
Yep.
And you got to do it all in one take.
Yeah.
We were so emotionally drained afterward. Do you remember all 4 of us just fell down backstage, just laying down on the concrete?
Yeah.
You know, that story was so real for me and for all of us, really. Like, it was emotionally taxing. Like, we couldn't hang out anymore in Japan. We couldn't really even associate. So, like, it felt so real because it was real. And, like, we had to, like, talk about these real things. And the scenes on Being the Elite were so tough to get through. Like, that was probably the most, like, draining year, that entire year, that story that took.
Yeah.
It was the most draining year of my career, probably.
And then we had to get through that emotional match, and it's like we got through it.
Right.
We did it.
We
and
survived.
it's like, we survived. Yeah. We did the business of the match, and we did our story justice. And it's like, well, by the way, it continues, and we can't be friends still. It was rough. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi. So my question is, I know it's a coincidence, but are you guys signing CM Punk here? Come on.
I wish.
I love CM Punk.
Yep.
Right?
I think that question's better. It's probably better to ask him.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
First of all, I want to thank you guys because you guys are the main reason why our cosplay group, wrestling cosplay group, Too Sweet Cosplay, is even here. We started it 2 years ago, and we want to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts, because without you guys, we wouldn't even be doing what we love to do, which is cosplay as wrestling to entertain people like you guys do. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And you're more than welcome. Thank you.
And this is kind of a question about Culture City. Which is a new thing Cody started for, and Cody and Brandon, you guys started for people with sensory issues. I have a sister who is mentally, physically disabled, has sensory issues, and loves wrestling. Where did the idea first come to be able to bring in Culture City and really not only include wrestling fans, but wrestling fans, those with sensory and disability issues?
Yeah, so first of all, I got to give all credit to Brandy for that one. That was really her brainchild. So. Yeah. The thing is, we had this idea with All Elite Wrestling, like we really wanted to make a wrestling promotion for everyone, and I don't necessarily mean, like that isn't limited to just the wrestlers on the roster. That's a really a universal thing. So we even want the fans to feel like all people from all walks of life can come to these shows and enjoy themselves. So how do we take the next step? And how do we provide the services that anyone can, and of course not everyone will be able to come to a show. We do understand there's, various circumstances that disallow people to come to our shows, and that's terrible. But we do want to accommodate as many people as possible, and we do want as many people that want to be entertained by professional wrestling to be able to come to our shows and enjoy themselves. So, we have a very talented team of people that actively search for ways to accommodate all walks of life. And we want our shows to be safe and fun for all to enjoy. So in terms of Culture City, that's all Brandy. And in terms of everything moving forward, well, again, all of us are always actively pursuing ways for everyone and all different types of people to come to these shows. And yeah, again, like this is all very new and everything's all a work in progress, but that was a huge step for us, and we're super proud and happy that we're able to provide that for people. And you know, that's just step one. And there will be probably more editions soon, and whether they happen quickly or they happen, you know, in weeks or months or even years to come, we will always be working hard, not just for, you know, to create the best wrestling product, but to create the best product for the fans as well.
Thank you very much, guys.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello, hi.
Hey. So first off, I want to say that All In was an amazing show. You guys did great. It was a great presentation.
Thank you.
And then also to any and all wrestling cosplayers and fans, come to booth 289, where the rest Too Sweet cosplay, of course.
289, right?
Yep, that's
You're
right.
289, guys.
So here's my question. It's actually about the television deal.
I thought we were just a T-shirt company.
What are you doing, infomercials now? Is that what it is?
So I had a suggestion. I don't know if this has even been explored.
Sure.
But I was going to say maybe try to do a live show on Netflix one day a week and then have a on-demand version right after it airs. I know that Hulu does it, but would that be something you guys would consider?
Something to think about, or we already have something cooking, so I just have to disregard this entire thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may
We're
or may not.
considering everything though at this point. you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, no. Again, we there are things that have already been put in motion and can't be stopped.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean that they can't be expanded upon. That doesn't mean that they're limited to that.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at some crazy things to benefit the company and just to keep things interesting and lively. But yeah, we still will welcome any cool ideas and feedback from the fan base, because really it's for you guys in the end.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, by the way. My question's for Kenny. Who's your Street Fighter main?
Right now? Okay.
Yeah, no, just in general.
I mean, in general, if I'm going to be really serious about it, I still have to pick Abigail. But, you know, I'm messing around with Cody a little bit and Alex again. But I can't lie, I haven't really touched the game lately because I've been just severely addicted to Battle Royale games. Unfortunately or unfortunately, but yeah, that's the situation there.
All right, thanks.
Hello, hi, my name is Mario. You guys do so much crazy stuff on the YouTube channel. I was just wondering, is there any wrestler or any ideas that you have where it's like, that's just too crazy to put on the channel that you can...
Oh my God, on a daily basis.
Yes. They happen to be otherwise known as all my favorite ideas. They're, you know, do we even have a demographic for BT, or we just kind of do what we want? I mean, we kind of do.
There are analytics, but I kind of just ignore them, and we just kind of just do what we think's cool.
Right.
I think that's what makes it work, though. You know what I mean? It's so crazy and out of the box that people enjoy it.
Certain things just don't really fit in the I guess the BT universe that we've created, and those are sort of those are where my ideas come in. And you know, some of them we've been able to dabble in.
Yeah.
But some of them, man, we had a wild Flip Gordon story.
Oh, don't even.
I'm not gonna.
You can't get into that.
Yeah, I can't even talk about it. That'd be
What
the end
about our
of my, that'd be the end
superhero
of my
powers?
career.
Remember that?
What's that?
Our superhero powers.
That's when we were going through.
No, yeah.
Stage in the show. I miss doing that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So the superhero or the superpower thing, like we were gonna go really, really in depth with that. It was gonna be really cool.
Yeah, we were gonna like fight off an entire team of bad guys or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
and then we realized, oh, we don't have CGI. We probably can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember one of us was, I can't remember who it was that was going to be really jealous that they didn't have any powers. So I think it was me.
Yeah,
was it me?
yeah.
Yeah, it was me. Okay, so an idea that was discussed on the table was like all of us were going to have superpowers, and I was really upset that I didn't have any. So it really drove me to the brink, and so I started to do horrific science experiments to myself to try to give myself superpowers. And yeah, it didn't really, we couldn't get there.
About half the stuff ends up on the editor's floor.
Yeah, cutting room floor.
The cutting floor. Yeah, there's just,
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll like say, okay, we need a quick 30-second scene, and then it ends up being a 7.5-minute scene where the three of us are just improvising, and we're like, we can't use any of that.
Yeah, and a lot of it requires us to be in the same place at the same time with a lot of time. So, you know, those stories, we had, I don't even think we should talk about it.
I don't know what you're even talking about. Oh, we might still do that, actually.
So should I say it?
Maybe not.
Kayfabe it then.
Okay. Okay, well, we got a cool idea that we're actually going to come back to and do possibly. So not all of it's been tossed away.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Hey guys, Miguel from Chicago.
What's up?
What's up? Quick question for Matt and Nick. I'm pretty excited to see the LJN figures making their comeback. And I was wondering if you could describe the process in getting your figures made. Also, is this one and done, or will there be any other all elite wrestling figures in this line?
Funny you say that, huh?
Well, I'll start out with a couple years ago. This has been a while.
Yeah.
I want to say it was in 2017. I got an email from one of the representatives of LJN, and I said, "Wait a minute, what?" I said, "There's no way. This can't be a real email." And he's like, "No, really, we're coming back, and we want you guys to be our first figures." And I've lost it because when I was a kid, I'm a 1980s kid, 1990s kid. I played with those big rubber figures, man, and I would throw them at my brothers when I was mad at them. And I just grew up on those things, so immediately I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And it took a while. They did a lot of, I guess they had a hard time finding, the right rubbers and stuff like that, to my understanding. Finally, they figured it out, and they got it scoped, and it looks like, I don't know if you guys have seen the scaling, but it's pretty accurate to the old ones. I got my little son, Zachary, at home playing. I have Matt Jackson body slamming Big John Studd, which I don't know how realistic that is. But yeah, the whole process was really fun. We got to help design which gear we would use and stuff. And it's been such a successful release. And I don't know if I'm even supposed to say this. I'm going to get an email as soon as I get off the stage, but whatever. They're going to do a variant already. And they went, should I even tell them the gear that we're going to use? Should I do that too?
Please.
I heard a yes. Sure, I'll just do it.
Yeah. It's a Meltzer one, isn't it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's actually, it's pretty fitting because we're in Chicago. It's the same gear we wore at All In. We're going to have a new one with those. So look for those soon. I don't know if I answered your whole question.
Yeah, it was.
Any other figures
okay.
coming in the line?
Man, I would love to do that right now. But Dana's telling me right now because she does the merchandise. She's saying, "Shut up, Matt! Don't say anything." Right now, we have a lot of offers on the table to work with many toys companies, so it's really still up in the air right now. That'd be great.
Awesome, thanks.
Hi guys, my name is Sean. I've been studying your craft for over 10 years, and I'm just so grateful to get to see you guys and get to ask you guys a question. I was training as a pro wrestler when I was 17, 18 years old, but I gave it up to go to college, and I regretted it ever since.
Jeez.
What piece of advice would each of you give me, or any type of motivation that you would like to give me or any other guys that would want to try to go back into pro wrestling or to start pro wrestling?
It's never too late. our friend Brandon Cutler, he quit wrestling for 7 years, and now he's getting back into it from the ground up, and he's working hard, and he's got a lot of passion for it, and I feel like one day he'll be signed to an AEW contract. So I would say never to give up on your dreams, because if you want something so bad, go out there and do it.
Any other advice? No? Okay.
I don't know if I want to top that. No, right now, I mean, in 2019, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, you know, what religion. It doesn't matter, man. Like, if you're good at something and you work hard enough, you know, here's a line from my children's book: you can be elite at anything. Good luck, though. If you want to do it bad enough, you can absolutely do it. Just find a really good wrestling school and something reputable, and look it up online, do a little research, and don't give up.
All right, thank you. I love you guys.
Hey guys, my name is Tim from Chicago, and I got a question about contracts, right? So, like Kenny, I know you got the option to go to New Japan, right? And you got other people that working with other promotions. When you guys start touring, would everybody be like more exclusive, or people have options to still do stuff? Like I know MJF does stuff with like MLW. Would that continue?
Well, it'll be up in the air. It'll depend on what type of contract they're on or under. For the three of us, we probably won't be doing anything, really.
Not really.
We might go to China, actually. That's a spoiler alert. But certain wrestlers, we're going to want them to not get ring rust, so we're going to actually encourage them to keep doing their bookings, and we want them to be ready.
Yeah, I mean, certain people are sort of earlier in their development phase, and we feel that we see potential in them, and we see them as an investment. But as of just right now, we don't have the volume of bookings for them to develop their skills. So we do encourage them to still, honor their whatever home promotion bookings that they have, or whatever, or places that they're tied to, or et cetera, et cetera. Eventually, we're going to have a pretty full-time schedule, and I would imagine that most people will more or less just be with us full-time. But as of right now, we do have some, people with not too much experience under their belt, so we're encouraging very much so that they go out and just, keep the ring rust away, and just polish up until we finally make our debut, possibly on TV. Possibly,
Or
October?
Netflix, right?
I doubt
October?
we're going to have that, but, just in case.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, I have a question for Kenny. I
Sure.
just want to say thanks. The stories you tell, like queer stories specifically, for me as a fan, were what got me into wrestling. So thanks for doing those. And I wanted to know if you could tell us anything about the filming of the Omega Man documentary that's coming out soon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I could tell a number of stories. Wow. I don't want to go too in depth with it because it would take forever. But that was actually a discussion that had taken place. Wow. Over the course, I feel, over about a year and a half, those people had wanted to film sort of my story, and I'm a very actual private person, sort of in my own time, and I wasn't too keen on having a camera crew following me because I wasn't sure or confident that I could act natural, and also, being in Japan and sort of feeling like I was alone out there. There are things that I do to kind of keep in my proper headspace and to keep my proper focus, and I felt that if I have all these people buzzing around me, if they're watching me when I'm sleeping or whatever, and following me to the grocery store every day and following me to the gym, like, am I going to be able to live my life properly? Am I going to be able to eat properly? Am I going to be able to train properly? Or am I going to kind of feel like I have to put on a show? And then would that in turn affect my performance? So I remember at first that I had actually turned down the offer to have a documentary shot. On top of that, I knew that there's a lot of red tape in Japan, just in general, with everything. So I knew that even if they followed me, they probably wouldn't get any match footage, they wouldn't get anything backstage, because it's all very protected. So I thought, okay, well, what exactly are you going to get? You're going to get me pretending to act a certain way on camera in my real life, and you're not going to get anything in terms of like, wrestling content. But, they kind of repitched me again, and they kind of hit me with a lot of very personal facts about my career that you couldn't just Wikipedia search. So I'd known that they'd actually followed me and they cared about this story. And so I thought, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can make this work. So I sort of did a little bit of the footwork with New Japan, and they seemed very willing to sort of cater to what they were hoping to film. We couldn't do tour bus stuff. We couldn't do backstage stuff, but they would give up some of the match footage. And I didn't know what the story would be. I just thought it was going to be, a day in the life of Kenny Omega or whatever. Kenny Omega, the guy from Japan. But as far as I know, I haven't seen the actual final cut of the film. It does focus a lot on my story and relationship with Coda. And, I guess that was just a conscious choice and made by the director and producer of the film. And I think it's very tasteful. I enjoyed what I watched. And well, I hope you guys do too. And as of right now, it's not going to be available for anyone aside from a Canadian citizen, unfortunately. But I am working on a very cool and special way for people to see it. And
You gonna upload it onto YouTube or something?
I mean, I was thinking Daily Motion, but
Could always do a Twitch stream watch along.
yeah, but no, I'm again. This will be, man, I'm just spoiling everything. But I'm working on something cool, and yeah, if you guys can get a chance to watch it, if you have a spare, my goodness, it's like 42 minutes or something with commercials. Please watch it and try to enjoy it, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm a big fan of the Elite, the Bullet Club, and mostly wrestling, and including the W's. I know, it's bad. But I have a question for the entire panel. What is your guys' favorite video games?
Right now?
Yeah, it could be current.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've said it like 3 times already, but I'm just playing Apex like every day. But playing Apex every day, but I'm going back, and I've yet to start it, but I've got Devil May Cry 5 downloaded, and I've got code for Sekiro, and I'm really looking forward to playing all of them at the exact same time. So, yeah, those are the goals, the immediate goals before Double or Nothing.
My favorite video game of all time is WCW NWO World Tour for Nintendo 64.
Currently or right now?
It could be right now or all time, if you want.
Of all time? Oh my God.
Isn't that 4-player Pac-Man game we played? Is that what it was?
Battle Royale or whatever?
Yeah.
So fun.
I would say the WCW Revenge one, right?
Yeah.
No Mercy.
Yeah, Revenge was better than World Tour. Let's face it. Yeah.
Revenge.
That'd be cool if AEW did a video game like that.
I mean, boy,
yes.
wouldn't that be something, hey?
That'd be great, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
That would be so cool, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Be cool. It'd be cool if we're actually thinking about making a video game for you guys that everyone liked.
With that same engine.
Yeah. Be cool, like if we try to get that same engine and some of the same people that worked on all those games back then.
That'd be real unique, huh?
It'd be like.
That would be so cool, guys.
It'd be like cool, you know?
That'd be like real badass, huh, guys?
Okay. I don't know. What do you think, guys, huh? Huh? Hey, guys? Guys?
We were doing a bit. Okay. Sorry.
All right, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So my question is for Kenny. First, I want to say that your match with Pentagon was one of my favorite of 2018. And
thank you.
What was
sorry,
it like
who
to
was
work
that?
with him? And how long till we see a rematch?
You say my match with Michael Nakazawa was pretty good.
Wait. I'm sorry. I thought I heard something about Michael Nakazawa or something.
No.
Wait, what did you say? Who was I wrestling?
Pentagon.
Oh, no, you said Pentagon.
Well, that's not as good either. I mean, he dropped me on my head on my own
I would have
stage.
to disagree, but okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Forget about Matt. This is between you and I. This is a personal conversation.
I didn't even ask him.
One-on-one. What's up, buddy?
So
Lay it on me.
Well, it was my favorite match, one of my favorite matches of 2018.
Thank you.
What was it like to work with him, and how long till we see a rematch?
Ooh, okay, so, yeah, I mean, I have a very limited experience with working with people of a luchador background, of a lucha background. So it was really interesting to go into sort of all in just after just a chaotic weekend and just be faced with sort of the task of like, you know, this is like one of the guys now. Like Pentagon is one of like the top names in the business, I think. And you know, it's cool that he represents a style that is so very near and dear to people's hearts, and a style that I haven't really worked with since I had defended the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title against Dorada. So I like to challenge myself in situations like that, you know, with the opposite side of wrestling or whatever and all that type of stuff. And I always, I don't know if I'd say I doubt myself, but I don't know. I didn't have the and I think probably Matt and Nick, I was questioning myself a little bit before the match too, wasn't I? I was.
You do that every match.
Yeah, okay, I do it. That's true. But maybe more so in this particular situation. But I mean, yeah, there's a reason why he's one of the best guys in the world right now, one of the top guys going. And I think he showed exactly why in that match. And then I went on, couple months later, and I went out of my way specifically to go to Poughkeepsie. Yeah. And to wrestle his brother Phoenix. And that was after just like a grueling tour, and I just took like, my God, it was a super long flight. It was like, 20-something hours, and then it was a 5-hour drive, and then, yeah, but just because I really wanted to test his brother as well, and both of them in very different ways are just extremely talented, and I'm so glad that we're going to be able to, use our platform in AEW just to sort of show the world, how good these guys are, but not nearly as good as the Young Bucks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I have a question for all three of you, since hopefully there's a TV deal in the works. Who would you guys want as like commentary? Could we bring back JR and the King? And if not, maybe like Colt Cabana or something?
Immediately, Excalibur comes to my mind. I think he's so good, so underrated, and he's got to wear that mask. I think we never give a backstory or the origin story about why he's wearing the mask. He just shows up on TV wearing the mask, and everyone's like, "Why is he wearing a mask?" We're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
I think we already have who we want.
Do we? I don't even know who we have. Do we?
Well, I think we do.
Go ahead and leak it.
Okay, well, if you think so, then I'll trust your word on it.
I think the announcement will come soon, actually, too.
Oh, yeah? Real soon? How soon?
A couple weeks, I believe.
Okay, that's cool.
So I can't really get into detail.
Then I don't want my answer to be like...
Someone different?
Yeah. I'm just... Okay, I'll say my answer anyway, regardless, and I can be scolded afterwards. But I think my favorite active commentary person right now is... Oh, I think you know.
Please don't say Michael Cole.
No.
Jeez.
I will not say anything derogatory about anyone from there. I'll leave it at that. I think the best active commentary person, probably aside from Excalibur, and I think Excalibur is such a good fit for AEW just because he has such a wealth of knowledge of the world of wrestling, and he's able to tie that in with like pop culture so seamlessly. So I mean, he really represents like kind of what we are as a brand, but sort of as color, especially. Don Callis is my absolute favorite. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I was just wondering if you guys were still looking for a librarian, because I am an actual librarian. I am here for work today.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Just want to say I'm tougher than Bookman. I got more credits than Louise. I have more decimals than Dewey. I am all elite, I'm all in, and I'm here to change the world. I just want to thank you guys for doing all you do. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we were going to make it a point to sit down one of these nights, either, whether it's going to be tonight or tomorrow, and we're going to watch. We have quite a few application videos for the librarian, don't we?
Hundreds.
Yeah. So we're going to sit and watch a lot of them together, and I'm not sure that may even appear on an episode, right?
I think I want to. Were we thinking like a reaction video?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna air some of it.
Yeah,
on
cool.
the next episode.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right, this question is for all three. Earlier you talked about the LJN figures and growing up on them, and tag team wrestling was on fire in the 80s. If you could book a fantasy matchup from the 80s, who would you guys choose?
Oh, man.
Oh, that one's easy for me.
Go ahead.
It would be Young Bucks versus the Rockers.
Yeah.
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 The Young Bucks versus the Rockers, or the Young Bucks versus the Mega Powers.
That would be a squash match.
I mean, I think they'd last at least 5 minutes with us.
Yeah, I mean, geez, when I rewind the clock and I really think about, like, who I loved back in the day, it's like I rewind my own life clock. So I think about, when I was a fan and who I loved back then. So I probably have to say someone like, Mr. Perfect, or, I don't know why, but like, I'd even say like, Randy Savage is right up there. And, one of my personal favorites these days, Ravishing Rick Rude. Yeah, he's so underrated. Unbelievable performer. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. I think they cut the line.
Yeah, I think that was the last question. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time.
Actually, no, man, I don't want to close the panel off just yet. I wanted to actually ask the fans a question, if that's okay. We sort of reverse roles a little bit. I see it.
That sign says time's up.
It's okay. And this is just, and I don't ever want to advertise this, but, we're all in sort of a little bit of an office role with AEW. So we do take what you guys say and think into heavy consideration all the time. So, we have an idea of who we love and who we want to be part of our team. So I don't want it to be like a shouting match, but if you guys have a name off the top of your head, who is a person we should be looking at right now? I didn't. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna. Someone over there, just say your name. Ikemen. Someone said Ikemen Jiro. Okay. Someone say Wallberry. Max Warner. Mads Warner. Well, James Thompson. Like the MMA fighter? Oh, okay. They said James Thompson. I was like, hey. Mike Adamley.
I heard
Okay.
a space monkey over here, too. Joey Ryan. Yeah.
What's up? You? Anyone on this side have any ideas? They just, of course, they have to not be under some sort of previous contract. Strickland, okay. Yeah, we've wrestled him before. He took my head off. He killed me with a bunch of stuff. He was headhunted, man.
Darby Allin.
Darby, yeah, whoa.
I love Darby.
Darby
Yeah.
is awesome.
Darby's really cool.
Ace Romero's a good one, too.
Yeah, you know what?
In our battle royal, right?
Yeah, okay, these are all great ideas. I especially like that Darby one. I started to see some clips, and he's got it, man. Man, I'm just going to tell you guys a little secret, a little tiny secret, someone that I really want to sign. Huh? Oh, and actually, I've got a bunch of cool, I've got so many cool signings that I can't wait to release to the world. Yeah, I do. Just wait for it. Nothing will ever match Michael's signing, but this is up there. I really want to sign Stephen Amell. I don't know. I really do.
Yeah, I heard he's going to be unemployed soon. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he may be looking for a little more active work. He may have a little bit of a gap in his schedule, and I think I and the fans as well would love to see him in the ring a little more.
That'd be great.
And I just hope, I don't know how up to date he is, but I don't think he may or may not know there's no Bullet Club to come back to.
They're telling us to get out of here. Is anybody here coming to our table to meet us later? All right.
All righty.
We'll be doing a meet and greet. I would tell you the booth number, but I don't know it offhand. Come on. I'm just a talent, you know? Thank you so much, though.
Thank you, guys.
We love Chicago, and I swear to God, we will be back here. We'll do another show. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming here today.